Hello there, YouTube. My name is Aaron. I am here in Michigan. If you don't know where at in Michigan, this might give you a clue. If you don't know the clue, check the news. Anyway, I'm here today to talk about a problem that I ran into with my newly purchased FX Impact air gun. Small problem, easy fix. For those of you tuned in that are researching the gun thinking you're going to find out a problem with it, I love the gun. There's no problem with it. I have a fix I think that's going to help the gun. And so I understand that people out there looking at this gun very, very seriously for the money and trying to decide whether to purchase it or not. Purchase it. If you can get it. I have two guns here. My first one is a Wildcat. I'll talk about that in a minute. This one here was purchased from Air Guns of Arizona. Thank you guys. My second gun I was gonna get the Impact from Air Guns of Arizona, but I found out that Air Gun Depot was gonna get them in a couple of months sooner. So, and not only that, they were gonna get the one in with the barrel configuration I wanted. I was gonna get the slide barrel from Air Guns Arizona. Found out they were getting in the barrel everyone is recommending, whisper quiet. And so I changed it and I went to this gun. But I want to thank both of those companies. Both of them are great to deal with. Give all of them A+ on everything. Excellent gun. Before I go into the fix on this gun, I want to give us some shout outs. My first shout out I want to give to Ted Holdover. Ted, I watched every one of your videos 20 times. I really enjoyed them when I first bought my gun, and just watching you from the Ed Gun days all the way down to your FX days and now to the Impact. And I just want to say that my first purchase was made because really I was looking at all kinds of guns, even the Ed gun. And when you compare this gun here to the Wildcat to the Bobcat, sold me. Everything you said about this gun is, oh man, this gun is slick as anything. And I'm getting groups I'm hitting quarters all day long at 60 yards. And on good days, I'm hitting dimes and pennies at that same range with this gun. It is amazing. Just handles well, feels well, balanced well, just everything about this gun. This gun is, I don't know. I would almost say this is my favorite gun, but I haven't had this long enough to make that decision. But Wildcat, can't go wrong. I want to give one other shout out before I get into this, and that is to my friends over at the Southern Michigan Gun Club. I've been a member where they're shooting powder burners for years. Driving by one day, saw that they had this thing that said air gun range. Stopped over here. Stopped over, ran to the guys over there, Bob and Mike and Chris. They were the nicest guys in the world. Started telling me all about air guns there, so I started researching it, ended up buying one. But this year, we were fortunate. We were able to host the 2016 Field Target National Pneumatics there. I participated, that's why I have a t-shirt. That's about all I did. Came in last place, as expected. You know, I had already been practicing for a while. But I have an excuse. Practiced all day long with this gun. Got good. Have a yardage set up, all set to go. Get there, didn't read the rules. 20 foot-pound limit. This gun shoots considerably more than that. So I couldn't use this gun. Chris stepped forward. He's the coordinator of the event. Stepped forward there and take my gun. Gave me the gun, the air tank, the pellets, cart, everything. All I had to do was show up and shoot. Upside of it was I had a gun to shoot. Downside, didn't know anything about it. Could not get the ranges. The guys I'm shooting against saw my frustration, and you know what they did? They started giving me the ranges. They shoot first and they get up 40 yards, 38 yards, 22 yards. I want to thank them for that, because then I started knocking targets over, because I at least had an idea of what a pellet might hit, and therefore I was able to put a few in and knock down some targets. So I want to thank you guys so much for that. I was embarrassed, but I've been a lot more embarrassed if you guys hadn't give me those numbers, boy. So thank you for that. Second thing I want to say about that is this. We had guys there from all over the world shooting in this thing. All of them so approachable. I'm new, I don't know anything. I'm asking all kind of dumb questions, I'm sure, to them. Every one of them patient, telling me, giving me advice, telling me about product, telling me how they got involved, everything. The auto gun community is the best community in the world. I've been shooting powder burners for years. Go shoot, you might run into one or two guys that may come and talk to you. You walk up to the pneumatics place, if it's 12 guys there, you're going to have 12 conversations about air guns. Every one of them are going to approach you, introduce themselves, and talk to you. I don't know what it is about the guys that shoot these things, but they're great. Okay, that's my shout out. Now to the matter at hand. Okay, I got this gun. As I said, this gun here is deadly. I get this gun, I'm shooting it at 60 yards and so, and my groups are terrible. And I'm taking this pellet, I'm washing pellets, I'm doing all kinds of things to try to fix it. Can't fix it. Not the pellets. Okay? So, what is it? I go out and I look at this gun, and I see that the noticing bipod is bad. But, you know, it's just a gun, right? Bring this gun out. And I line them up. That's what I'm about to do now. When I line them up, trigger over trigger, I find that this bipod is 6 inches ahead of this bipod. Stabilization problem, for me anyway. May not be for you. If you can shoot it with the bipod there, be accurate with it, all better for you. But what I found is this. With this gun, if I raise it up from back here, I gotta squeeze it. I mean, I'm squeezing it tight, keep it slipping out of my hand and banging on my table. Okay? Because all the weight is back here. This gun here wants to teeter-totter like little kids. I can pick it up with no force at all. Matter of fact, it even wants to fall forward. As soon as I get there, it's got the tipping point is right there. So you know there's no weight in the back of it. So the problem for me, I think, is when I'm shooting military and it's sitting there and that hammer strikes, this gun wants to shift a little because there's no weight back there holding it down. I can't hold it down tight. Not in a military shot. Anyway, so I say, how can I fix this? So I'm sure everybody at home got one of these. So you may already have the fact. You may already have the fix without purchasing anything. This is all of my picatinny rails, dovetail stuff, and all this. So I threw it in here when I can't use it anymore. I might be able to use it one day. And so I go in, I find basically 3 pieces, but really 2 pieces that fix the whole problem for me. This is a picatinny rail that goes on top so you can raise your scope up so you can shoot longer distances. About 6 inches long. This is the same thing in the shorter version. It comes in pairs for the same reason. Get your scope up so you can shoot longer distances. Here's the fix, and you probably have already figured it out. Take the bipod off. Put the first one on first. And what this first one is going to do, and you already, as I said, you guys already know this. I'm sure you all are way ahead of me by now. But what this first one is going to do is it's going to lift this a ½ an inch. That's going to get this to run past this bottle. The second one, we're going to slide it on here. It's never easy as you want it to be. We're going to slide this on, tighten it down. And what you're going to find now is this. You've just extended it by 6 inches, but there's still a problem. This thing here wants to teeter-totter also, because this is not enough to stabilize it. Now you can use anything you want. This is a piece of rubber that we use on our couches and stuff in the living room so that they won't slide on the hardwood floor and scar it. Fits in there perfectly. I just need to carve it down a bit. I haven't done that. Slide that into place. Once you get that in, now the gun is stable. It is totally stable. Now, when you put on the picatinny rail, when you put on the, these things never go on easy. There you go. When I put the rail on it now, the bipod on it now, now it's heavy. Now I gotta squeeze it to get it up. Okay? I think that stabilizes it, because now it's gonna set heavier back here. So when that when the hammer hits forward, it's not gonna want to lift up because it's so light, and that little bit of forward thrust wants to do this with it, because it'll drop it down more. But I think a better fix of what I've come up with is this. This is the longest one I could find in terms of a picatinny extender, as I'm gonna call it. If you inventors out there, or manufacturers or whatever, come up with a system where, just like this, one piece that will shoot all the way out to about here. Give me 2 more inches. If you give me this, I'm not going to buy it, and a lot of other guys probably won't buy it either, because they're probably going to run out and buy this for $20. But if you can get it out here, 3 more inches to the end of this bottle, so when I set this thing down, I got even more weight falling to the back of it. I think it's going to stabilize my benching. Because again, I don't shoot with bags, I don't shoot with vices. I shoot exclusively with these. So I want this gun heavy back here, so when it's sitting down, I can just touch the trigger and have it fire. But right now, I think the force of pulling that trigger, even though it's tiny, and the force of that thing, that hammer sliding forward, is enough to lift this gun. A shout out to FX. In your Mark II impact, which I know is coming later than sooner, why not take this system that you have, this little 2-inch system, and bring it out to here. Bring it out 8 inches. Just built right onto the gun. We'll still be able to screw the bottle on, screw the bottle off. You can always put a piece of rubber in here at the tip of it, so that if it does lag a little bit, it'll just touch against this and not destroy this $500 bottles, which we don't want to do. And it's going to stabilize the gun. And that's really not a hard fix for manufacturers. And again, for you inventors, if you do decide to come out there and make this, I expect a shout out. Heard it here first. And a check would be nice. Last thing about this gun. Selling point of this gun for me. For other people, I know it's accuracy. Not for me. This gun here controls me. I shoot the gun, but this gun controls me. Okay? How so? All I can do is pick this gun up and shoot it. Put it on the mill down, pull the trigger. All day long. Gets boring. You start knocking pennies over at 50 yards. Gets boring. This gun here will never bore you. Never bore you. It's impossible to be bored by this gun. Go outside, set it at power level 5, dial it in 100 yards, start getting your 1-inch groups, 1.5-inch groups, and smile. But it's not over there. With this gun, it's over. It's dialed in. If the wind don't affect it, the pellet don't, it's stable. You're there all day. This gun here has a built-in challenge, and here it is. You get out there and you're bored on max, 950 feet per second, dialing them in at 100 yards. Drop this sucker down to minimal and start lobbing them in there. If you get a pretty tight group there, then move up to 1 and start lobbing them in there. 2, 3, 4. Okay? You can mess with the hammer travel. You can go in and mess around with the regulator if you want to. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. This gun here, you control this gun. You decide what you want this gun to do, and it will do it for you, and it will challenge you at every step of doing that. This gun here is not going to challenge you, because once you get it dialed in, it's over. You're just repeating the same process over and over again. So the selling point on this gun for me is not to go out there and be able to get 1-inch groups at 100 yards. Maybe it's totally capable of that. Seen it done. But that's not what I want it for. I want a gun I can go outside on the deck, put it on minimal, and shoot 30 yards and have fun all day long. And let me just tell you, with this barrel on it, I'm not sure about the extended barrel, but with this barrel on it, on minimal, when you pull the trigger, the sound is puff. Yes, puff. I understand that in here there's no metal on metal. When the hammer strikes, it's not striking metal. So there's virtually no sound coming out of here. And the sound that's coming out of this muzzle is puff. You can shoot it all day long with your neighbor's kids playing it in the yard next door. Fortunately, I don't have that. But you can shoot all day long and they won't even look up. The pellet downrange, 50 yards away, is louder on impact than the gun right underneath your ear. It's amazing. Last thing I'm gonna say about this gun is this. When I got this gun, I ran outside, put a scope on it, dialed it in at 30 yards, fell in love with it, came in the house, told my wife, wow, I'm in love with this gun. You're a lucky woman, because if this gun was a woman, I'd leave you tomorrow. And she laughed, she thought it was funny. She better be glad this is not a woman. This gun here, comparison. This gun here gets boring. This gun will never bore you. Which one will win? Anyway, you inventors out there, if you do anything with this gun, give me a shout out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. This is my first and last one. The only reason I made this video is because I think I found a fix that might help you guys. Good air gunning, you guys. Thanks for tuning in.